Welcome to Blinded by the Item, juicy bits of gossip with the names left out. This is our Christmas edition. We're going to have some videos for you over the holidays because we are not working at the radio station right now. But we didn't want our blinders on YouTube to be left with nothing. So we're recording these special things for you, some of them being your questions that you put in the comments.
Yeah, you guys did a great job asking questions this year. Thank you so much. You ask questions throughout the year, but it's just nice for us to sit down and do them all in one big lump sum. So a little coal in your stocking this year.
Right.
There you go. So let's get after it. Let's do a little Ask Us Anything as we get things going here today. Let's begin with this first one. Mads sent us a message and said, are we going to see Mike in a wig when you guys hit 10,000 subscribers?
Mike?
You're damn right you are.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I will absolutely rock the wig again. I loved it. If you don't remember, it felt so natural. I think I was meant to have hair.
You really were meant to have that length of hair. Who did we think you looked like again?
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain, that's
It's
right.
really, if you look at his face with the wig and Kurt Cobain, it's uncanny, actually.
Okay.
It's quite, and yeah, t-shirt, everything went together perfectly.
Yes.
More wigs in
I have wigs,
2026.
so I can bring in wigs that are like, I've got a half black, half white, long wig, pink and black. Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. I'm in for whatever. So 10,000.
So we don't block your face.
Yes.
We're not doing that.
So get us there. Share this.
Yes.
Give us a like. Subscribe, and we'll get to 10,000 subscribers. And I get to live out my dream of having a full head of hair. Let's go to this next one. J-Bug sent a number of messages. We'll kind of just, I'm going to read them all, and then we'll knock them off one by one. How did the trio of you end up doing Blinded? Like, who approached whom with the initial idea? Then, how was it determined Mike would be the keeper of the blinds while Don and Bradley guess? If you weren't working in radio, what would each one of you be doing instead? And finally, why are Quinn and Stormer such cuties?
Oh, that's the easy one to answer.
We'll start the last one.
Yeah, because they are. Their parents were beautiful and made beautiful children, I guess. Yeah.
So let's go to the top one here. How did the trio of you end up doing Blinded? Like, who approached whom with the initial idea?
Well, I think that some of our viewers might not know that we're doing a radio show together. So we work together at myTalk, and you can stream us actually all day long at mytalk1071.com. It's all celebrity gossip, all entertainment news. It's a whole station of that. It's just a talk station. So Mike was our original producer when we started the show 3 years ago. And then he went on to be the producer of another show that comes on after us with Brittany and Kendall. And then we got Stormer as a producer. So, and Mike's always done games and stuff. He's like the commissioner of all games. Yeah. He loves to do games and things.
The idea of Blinded by the Item, that actually came about a long time ago, also on the radio, though, as a result of the radio. So I had a show called The Colleen and Bradley Show that was like our midday radio show here on myTalk. And we had our producer at that time, Holly. And Holly was the original host of the game. It all came about, honestly, because look, we all work in this business where we're reading celebrity gossip and tabloid trash 24/7, so we've got an affinity for it. And Blind Item specifically, as came up in Blinded by the Item, is largely due to our fascination with the Crazy Days and Nights.net website and Empty Lawyer. So we actually had him on the show like way back. And then we just kind of were paying attention to not just those blinds, but like just the broader blinds. And we kind of did deep dives into like all the celebrity blinds, because blinds, go back all the way to like Hedda Hopper, right? So like blind items are old. Anyway, from our fascination with blinds, we decided to gamify it because like any good radio bit, everything's better with the game.
Yeah.
So Holly did kind of what Mike would do. And lo and behold, it just kind of, it became more and more fun. And then, of course, Dawn and Mike joined the bunch, and here we are. I mean, it's just kind of snowballed. It's kind of amazing to see the power of blind items multiply over the years.
Yeah. And we didn't make it like a podcast or radio or a YouTube channel 2 years ago. we started doing that, but it has a long history with
Yeah,
Bradley.
we started on the radio, and then it went, of course, to become a podcast in and of itself. And then, of course, here we are on YouTube because it just feels like an obvious audience. There's so many people who love blinds out there. And like also everybody can read blinds, but not everybody can like play a game about it. And that's,
And
I think,
talk it out.
that's what is fun, to just hang out with your friends and, play the game of blinds.
So there you go. That answers the first couple of questions. The other one here, I think it's fun. We'll start, Dawn, over with you. If you weren't working in radio, what would you be doing instead?
Oh, I would love to. I love, my favorite role on stage is to play the Wicked Witch, and I've done that a lot in my life, and so I would love to do like the national tour of the Wizard of Oz. And second to that,
That'd be really cool.
oh my gosh, yes, would be I want to have a travel show. Just, I don't care what I'm doing, but just to have the ability to travel for my job and be like on the Travel Channel, that would be super fun.
Yeah, if I wasn't doing this, I mean, originally I had no idea I was going to end up on radio. So I was working for a magazine before I started here, and I was doing a lot of writing, and I'd probably still be writing. I was also podcasting, and so I know I would be talking, doing something. If I were going to be talking about something other than celebrities, it would probably be cruises, because like Dawn, I love to travel, and my partner and I go on a couple cruises every year, and that's kind of our like obsessive compulsive travel disorder. So if it wasn't something like that, I mean, it would involve talking at people probably on some level. What about you, Mike?
If it couldn't be radio in any way, shape, or form, something completely different, random, it would probably be a geography teacher.
Oh,
Really?
I love geography.
Why geography?
Because I love geography.
I'm so bad at
The
it.
only reason I wouldn't be maybe a geography teacher is because I love geography more than I love children. So dealing with kids.
Well, you could be like an adult geography.
It would have to be, yeah. I'd have to
be ours.
I'd have to be like a high school geography teacher that also was like a football coach. That would probably be my
Yes.
That'd probably be my life if it wasn't for radio.
What is like what's the thing you get most excited about with geography? Like just like memorizing country names, or like
Basically, yeah. I don't know. I've got kind of a photographic memory, so it's always fun. I always just love the fascination of like give a map to somebody and say, okay, how many states could you just fill out? By,
Do you like to do that on your own?
Oh, easily. You could easily just knock it all out. But it's fun to watch some because brains are cool. Like some people's brains, they look at it.
Brains are cool.
They have no idea what they're even looking at, and it's comical how bad they are at it.
Yeah.
And then other people, it's like it's easy. So I don't know.
You've done it with us before.
I have done
You're our
it with you
producer.
before. Yes.
Yeah, East Coast is hard for me
East Coast be a
because
little
I've
tough.
never lived there,
Yeah.
so that's difficult.
Brains are cool.
Brains are cool, Mike.
So there you go.
I learned something.
And we're going to get a little more background on what we used to do as well as we keep this
For
rolling
sure.
on. We'll move on to Ellie, who says Mike shirts. That was it. That was the question. So, Mike shirts, Dawn's history in acting/broadcasting, Bradley's history in broadcasting, and Mike's history in broadcasting.
It's a lot.
So those are 4 different questions. We'll begin with the easy one right away. Mike shirts. Everyone wonders. By the way, this one. It's Santa dressed up like Taylor Swift in the rep outfit. I check it once, then I check it twice. Love it. This was an Etsy find.
Netsy?
Etsy.
Etsy.
I don't know what Etsy is.
What's Etsy? What's Etsy? Etsy. Okay.
This one was an Etsy find. I will say most of my shirts came from a website, or early on came from a website called Homage. They don't sponsor me, but they could.
Ooh.
Double X.
Do it.
Especially during the holiday season, extra large during the summer. I fluctuate a little bit, but double X is. That is Homage is a great spot for like Nickelodeon shirts. That's where all those like come from. The old classic professional wrestling ones come from there. The store that I've never walked into until recently, but I think a lot of my shirts going forward will come from Five Below.
Oh.
That store is like millennial and Zoomer catnip. I love that place.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that place is great. And then Lunchbox. Lunchbox is also a great store and a great website that has a bunch of really cool shirts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. We had for advertisement for those locations. That's where I get the majority of my shirts.
Cool.
Dawn,
Yes.
acting and broadcasting history. Go.
Okay. Broadcasting, I was a theater major and I was had an agent for voiceover commercials, and a radio station heard my commercials and then found out I was local. So they hired me to be an overnight DJ. And I did midnight to 6 for many years in college. Then I moved to nights, and then I did a morning show for, I mean, I hate to say this, but like it was 22 years of doing mornings, and I worked at a hip hop station for most of the time. Then I moved to myTalk like 10 years ago and did the morning show here. Um, Acting, I mean, I was a theater major. I haven't done anything that special. I did some stand-in work. Um, some Walker, Texas Ranger, because I lived in.
Dawn is in an infomercial. That's the thing we're most proud
Yeah,
of her
Purse
for.
pouch.
Yeah, purse pouch.
Yeah.
Put it on the YouTube or Google it on the YouTubes, y'all.
Yes. And then let's see. I mean, Wishbone, that was also filmed in
Yeah,
Dallas.
you've done a lot of work.
Like, not a lot, but like I've done a lot of independent movies and things like that.
Yeah.
But nothing that would pay the bills, that's for sure. Shakespeare, yeah.
Nice. Bradley, over to you.
What was the question?
Your history in broadcasting.
okay.
What got you here?
Well, I've always been talking to microphones ever since I was a kid. I had like one of those cassette recorders. Remember those
Oh,
like big
yes.
brick ones? And it had like a corded mic, and I would basically just make fart noises into that.
Nice.
So that, that was a tell. And then in college, I had a radio show, music radio. I mean, literally, I could play whatever I wanted because my friend was the station manager. So every semester, I'd propose a new show. Like this semester, I want to do lounge music. Remember how lounge music had a moment back in the like late
totally.
night or mid 90s? That was my
TK
moment.
Exotica.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh my God, Mondo Exotica.
Mhm.
We could talk for days. But then fast forward many, many, many years, and after I quit my corporate job at Target, I ended up working for a magazine podcasting. Well, I started a podcast first, long story, did that podcast for many years, and then worked for a magazine and podcasted and did radio for them. And it was while I was there that I met Jason Matheson from this station, who hosts the morning show, and started filling in. And lo and behold, 15 years later, here I am. So kind of a circuitous route, but yet not that surprising.
Nice.
All right. As far as mine goes, similar story from like a young age. I had a talk boy, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and all those talk boys. Loved those. So between that and just, I've always loved listening to radio, been fascinated by it. But then I totally went a different route as well. Did like a corporate job after I played football like through high school, and then college then got hurt, coached football for a while, but then I wanted to stay in football. So that's why I started doing color commentary for games. And that's when I started like understanding small market radio a little bit more and being like, hey, I would love to do play-by-play and stuff. So did that, went out to Wisconsin for 7 years, did the morning show and did play-by-play for like all the sports teams, all the different wrestling, volleyball, football, everything. And then wanted to move closer to home because I was like 3 hours away from everyone I knew and loved. And so came back here when there was an opportunity. And then I realized that, nobody in sports really cares about the numbers and cares about whatever. They care about the juicy stories around it.
Ooh, yeah.
And then it's like, well, at the end of the day, it's exactly what we talk about in pop culture. Whether you're talking about the scores, or you're talking about the box office performance of a movie, it's all the same stuff. And then thanks to Taylor and Travis, it literally is all the same stuff because now we're getting connections there between Hollywood and sports. So it's all the same stories. So I'm excited to be here. Love being here, and started doing your guys' show, producing it crazily 3.5 years ago.
Lo and behold, like we were all meant to be doing what we're doing. Like we all fell into the right place, it seems like.
True. And when he says here, he means Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yes, sorry, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Broadcasting from.
Which is, we'll move on to the next one here. Best celebrity stories we each have. This is from Jay Parks. Thank you. Dawn, you got a good celebrity story, one that sticks out?
Oh, gosh. I mean, celebrity story.
And I guess tied in with this, Janice also asked, who's the most famous person you've ever met? And then what were they really like? So we can kind of jumble both those questions together.
All right. Well, I'm from the hometown of Brad Pitt and Chappell Roan and Kaylee Spaney and John Goodman. Brad Pitt's brother used to listen to my show with his wife religiously, so I kind of know Doug Pitt. Kaylee Spaney, who you know from Civil War, Alien Romulus. She played Priscilla.
Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out Mystery
Knives
just
Out.
came out.
Yes, so I did theater with her, and she was Dorothy when I was the Wicked Witch. So I know her pretty well. And John Goodman used to come to our classes because I went to the same theater department in college that he did. And he used to come back and visit the college a lot. He had a favorite professor there, and he would come into our acting classes and give us advice and like one-on-one coach us. And he is the nicest man ever.
Yeah, he seems like he would be a nice guy.
He's just such a nice guy. To come back and visit college students and just on his own, like help them with their scenes. I mean, great guy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Bradley, you got one?
I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of people throughout my life in weird and different places, not just through the radio. You'd think radio, but I actually, when I was in high school, this is so random. We covered the Republican National Convention in 1990. What year would that have been? 2? I was in high school. I was in this thing called Children's Express. I was an editor, and we had like the high school students were the editors, and then the middle school students were the reporters. And so we would go around with the reporters and they had we had access to like the convention. So like it was just cool from like a like being a fly on the wall perspective.
So like these kids are harmless.
They literally could get into anywhere and ask any questions. And so one night we found ourselves at a dinner party with Sonny Bono, because remember Sonny Bono was I think he was like the Republican mayor of is it Palm Springs?
Maybe.
I think it was Palm Springs. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and we're talking to Sonny Bono. And I was like, this is the bestest, weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. And that was only, like in high school. So that was a totally random one. We've been, Dawn, we've talked to so many people because of the radio jobs that we have. And usually they're pretty formulaic interviews. They're on the phone a lot of times. I will just say, I think you don't always want to meet your heroes. One of the people I loved growing up was Vicki Lawrence.
Yeah.
And we had her on the show. It did not go well.
Oh, no.
She was not very friendly. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I could go on about that story. And in fact, it still makes me laugh that she was looking at her phone most of the time when she wasn't on mic. And so we're just like, girl, come on now. So that was just kind of a bummer. But it was still really fun to meet her, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are a couple anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of just random, like you said, run-ins. But for me, the person that I actually sat down and had long conversations with and spent some time with was Chum Lee from Pawn Stars.
Chum Lee!
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Pawn Stars.
Oh my God, I was obsessed with Pawn Stars.
So when I was, go figure, when I was in Vegas, I was playing a poker tournament at the Venetian, and we ended up sitting right next to each other in this poker tournament. So just sat and chat with him. He's a super nice guy.
Of course he is. I feel like they're exactly who you see on camera.
100%. That's the way it felt. Corey was standing right behind him. His buddy Corey was watching him play the tournament, but we were sitting right there playing and having a good time. It was great. So there you go.
So cool.
Nicely done. Let's roll on to this next one here. Riggs is asking, what are each of our bold predictions for a juicy bit of gossip that we're going to hear about next year? So 2026. What's a little bold prediction we got?
Ooh.
Bold prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go first?
Oh.
Bold.
I will say, I think that, and maybe this is just wishful thinking, but I do not think that Blake Lively is going to win her case.
Okay.
With Justin Baldoni. I don't think there's enough evidence that she has. And the discovery process has shown that there's a lot of dirty stuff that she probably wouldn't want to have out there. And I just don't think she's going to win. I don't think there's enough proof. So that's my bold prediction.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty actually logical conclusion. I think a lot of people based on what we know so far, the problem is there's still so much we haven't seen, because despite the fact that I feel like there's been a lot of information leaked to the media from both sides, there's still so much that we haven't seen. That said, if I were going to be super let's think about things that probably aren't going to happen, but who knows? I still kind of hold out hope that there's not going to be a trial. And by that, I mean, not because I don't want to see all the stuff, but because I think she might realize that the case will not be as successful and then, end up deciding to settle. Do I think that's likely? No. But if I were going to, try to spitball like something crazy that could happen next year, it would probably just be that they don't ever end up going to trial. Which from what we do for a living would be kind of a bummer because I think we would learn a whole lot from this trial. A lot of information would finally come out, but I don't know. Other than that, I mean, other than the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively stuff, I mean, your guess is as good as ours because like the things that happened in 2025, we didn't see that coming from a mile away. So
It's true.
what about you, Mike?
Well, I guess from a gossip standpoint, next year is going to be insane. You look at the box office, like what we're going to have coming out. It is going to be a monumental year. Like there's just the way everything's tracking with some of the big movies like The Odyssey and Doomsday, all these different things we have coming up. I think it's going to be the year of Harry Styles.
Oh,
Okay.
There's my prediction. Harry Styles is not only going to have a new album coming out, he is going to have a massive tour and he's going to start acting a lot more. I think Harry Styles is going to be like the Taylor Swift of this past year.
Interesting. What makes you say that?
Just because I think he's going to have new music. I think he's going to just be getting out there. We're going to see publicationships with him. He's going to see, because right now,
Who's he with right now?
Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, that's right. That's
they've
not
kind
permanent.
of been doing that all the time.
he just wants to jam with Lenny, I think.
I think so too. I think he's trying to keep his name in there. I think he's going to announce an album very, very soon, and I think it's going to be the year of Harry Styles.
Okay.
And also NSYNC's going to make a comeback next year. Okay, next.
Is that wishful thinking?
That one's wishful thinking.
Okay.
But I wouldn't.
You're allowed it. You're allowed
know
it.
Justin Timberlake needs it finally for the first time.
Ugh.
Finally, find hope. Where does Mike actually get his shirts? I explained that. Some of the different locations you can get them. Your brother loves them, and Christmas is coming up. Well, those are good places you can find them.
You can also go to T Public. That is an amazing,
Nice.
TEE Public.
Maybe I just found a new place too.
Yeah.
We've got one from Riggs here. Hi from the UK. Have you guys ever been over here? Ever seen a West End show? Anybody been to the UK of us?
I think Dawn's the only one that's been.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I was in Dublin when the Queen died.
Oh no.
Oh God. And
I don't remember that. You were?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I went to Europe like in 2022.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I want to go all over England and visit castles and just do my dumb like medieval history tour, some things like that. Some ghost hunting in there since I do that on the side. So I'm super into castles. Yeah. Yeah. And I've also, I had a boyfriend over there for a while. So.
But so when you were dating, did you get over to see him? Like, where were you in England?
Yeah, so that is Chesterfield, which is a smaller town. And then he worked in Sheffield, which is kind of like the Midwest of England.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't go to London or anything.
I have never been to the UK. I really want to go. I just went, I had the, pleasure of going to Europe for my 50th birthday this year, but the UK was unfortunately not on that list. So I'd really love to go, mostly because I've been weirdly obsessed. And by that, I mean, like, obviously obsessed with British television and movies, mostly my entire life. Like from a very early age, I watched Doctor Who. My dad and I used to watch Doctor Who on the weekends because they would replay it on PBS. And all of the wonderful 70s British comedies, Are You Being Served?
Totally.
Keeping Up Appearances Later. So like I've just always had this wonderful affinity. And plus we've got like family, not like recent family, but genealogical family history in the UK that I would love to go do some research for. So it really pains me that we haven't done
do
there.
it.
Yeah,
We're gonna be on the road.
We'll do
a show.
We'll do a Blinded by the
If you
Item.
guys keep subscribing, that is what. If you tell your friends about us, the higher our numbers get, the more we'll get to do and possibly travel around and do this show. Like legitimately.
Yeah.
We're coming to you soon, Riggs. Just said that. All right, let's move on to Janice. What jobs have you had before this one? Why did each one of you get into reporting on celebrities, and what other shows do you have on the radio? We've touched on a few of these, but how about some random jobs we had?
Dawn, you've had a few.
I know. Go just pass by me. Someone else.
Okay.
Go first.
I've had a lot of random jobs in my life. Most of them were paid, not all of them. That's a long story. But yeah, I mean, a lot of service jobs when I was in high school. I worked at a bakery for many years. I worked at a grocery store, blah, blah, blah. Probably the weirdest job that I ever got fired from was I was a clean water canvasser. So like clean water, advocacy.
Oh.
Like we were advocating for clean water because who doesn't like that? This was in the 90s and it was a summer job and you had to like bring in a certain amount of money. I kind of feel like it was, I don't know, it seemed very sketchy. We had to raise a certain amount of money every week, and if we didn't, we'd get in the hole. And if you got in the hole, you had to then like raise more money to get out of the hole. And I never got out of the
It's
hole.
like a game show.
And it kind
Clean water whole game show.
Yeah. One time I didn't meet my quota, so I pretended a dog bit me because they would just drop us off in like from a van,
Mhm.
a bunch of us into a neighborhood. This was before cell phones. I don't know how we survived, y'all. Like for 6 hours, we're just walking through neighborhoods. And I didn't make enough money by knocking on doors and getting people to give me money. So I like bit my arm. And then I was like, oh, you guys, I had to stop my shift because a dog bit me.
It looks awfully like human teeth.
With
Don't worry
human
about it.
teeth. Anyway, very shortly after that, I was fired unceremoniously. And I'm grateful
Oh my God.
because I realized that's not what I want to do.
Yeah. We all gotta find our way.
I feel for you, Bradley. I actually sold security systems door to door in North Carolina for a summer.
So you know
That was-
the
I
pain.
know the door to door pain. I absolutely do. I only did it for a few months, which shows you how well it went. Before that, my parents owned a restaurant. So like starting at 12, I was a fry cook slash dishwasher slash bartender slash whatever from 12 until like 20 when I left for college, or 18 or whatever when I left for college. And then it was also a professional mover and storer. Worked for a moving company, which was
nice.
so unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you're always moving someone either to someplace or moving them in. And most of the time it's moving them away. And then you just do all of the worst parts about moving and then you don't get any of the satisfaction.
Oh God.
So,
Never
and then
thought of it.
other than that, I have a marketing degree. So I just did some marketing stuff when I was working corporate work, marketing, graphic design, weird, just random stuff like that. Dawn, you've had time to think about it. What you got?
Oh gosh, I've had a lot of jobs. I think to sum it up though, I have a degree in screenwriting, so I've been a script doctor. I have also worked in event marketing, and the companies I worked for had like large scale marketing programs that would go across the country or for certain big events. The most significant one that I worked for the longest was for Gatorade. And so I went to Gatorology school in Florida.
Gatorology.
Yes, I was a market manager for a program called Sweat, which is students winning through excellence, attitude, and training. And so I went to the Super Bowl and the Little World Series. I could go to any professional game I wanted and sit in the Gatorade box. That's the coolest thing I can say.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we did a whole bunch of other things with our company, but Sci-Fi Channel, Cartoon Network, stuff like that. And, we would build large scale vehicles to travel across the country and, do fun stuff. It was a really fun time. And I know the Wienermobile people,
I mean, who can say that?
Yeah, we would trade wiener whistles for Gatorade.
Wiener whistles for Gatorade.
And other wiener products.
That's a good trade. It's a really good trade.
Yeah.
All right. So that is a rundown of many of the questions that we got from you awesome blinders. So thank you so much for all the questions. And I think we're going to have to break this up into 2 different videos.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Because we had so many questions. So we will chat with you again very, very soon. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
All right.
Welcome to Blinded by the Item. This is part 2 of our questions and answers. Thank you so much, Blinders, for putting these in the comments of our YouTube page. So let's get started with part 2.
God, you guys have such good questions.